Hello, this is Tom Horn with BirminghamAppraisalBlog.com, and today we're going to be talking about how appraisers choose comps and the process that we go through. The reason I'm doing this is that I've been asked this question before whenever I've spoke at realtors' offices. They'll ask me what's the best method for coming up with comparables, and I've written about this in the past. And one of the big things I think that I like to convey to them the most is that when you're looking for comps, what you want to do is you want to use the bracketing method. I've talked about this in the past. Bracketing involves choosing comparables based on the physical characteristics of the property, and by choosing criteria that will give you comps that are better than your property that you're trying to price, very similar to, and then inferior to. That's what bracketing is, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. And it's the best to bracket around the physical characteristics of the property as opposed to the estimated value of the property. So if you go into it looking to find sales that support a certain value of the property, and that value may have been decided upon by the seller. Maybe they said that they wanted to get a certain amount out of the property. Well, if you look at it that way, you're always going to find sales to support that value. What you really want to do is you want to bracket the physical characteristics of the property so that you can find other homes that have sold similar to yours and see what they sold for, and those sales prices that you come up with that those properties sold for are going to be reflective of what the property's physical characteristics are. So it's going to give you a more accurate market value for the property. And I think this is good because if you price a home using this method, I think there's going to be less likelihood that there is going to be a problem with the appraisal matching the contract price or the list price. Because if you use the same methods that the appraiser uses, then the likelihood of it falling through is going to be less because you're going to be coming up with similar sales that the appraiser uses and probably a very similar value that they have, or at least in the same ballpark. So what I wanted to do today was do just a simple property search based on some criteria of a recent appraisal I did in a certain location. Now, this is going to vary, based on where you're at, of course, and I'm just throwing out specifics on this just to make it easier to show you what I'm doing and how I'm doing a property search. So, for those people that are from out of town, these subdivisions and school systems and so forth, it's not going to mean anything to you. But just keep in mind that what you want to do is you want to use those like school districts and locations and that type of thing for the property that you're doing, of course. So I'm doing an appraisal of a property. It's a one-story slab home. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and it's got approximately 1,600 square feet in it, and it's also got a 2-car attached garage. It's in the city of Helena, and that's in the the Helena school system, and it's in the Laurel Woods subdivision. So what I'm going to do is take a look at what sales have occurred in this location, and your MLS may be different than mine, probably will be, but you can use the same criteria. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the status. Of course, we're looking for sales, so I'm going to choose sold. Property type is going to be single family home. My home is located in Shelby County, Alabama, and the market area is the Helena-Pelham area. Now, since it's in both of those municipalities, I want to keep it within the Helena school system. And school systems drive values in my area, and they most likely do in your area too, so you might want to keep that in mind whenever you're doing property searches. So I'm going to go down here and look to be elementary school. I'm going to choose that, and I'm going to choose Helena Elementary. Let's see here. Okay. So, and then I also want to choose sales that have occurred within the last 90 days. I like to start with that time because that is what most of my lender clients request. Now, that's not always possible, and we may have to expand out from that, but I like to choose that to begin with. So on my dates criteria, I'm going to go to the close date, and today is the 27th of July, so I'm going to go back 3 months in time. Let's see, the 27th of April until today, which is July 27th. That's about 3 months. And I want to keep properties with a similar floor plan style and building style. So I'm going to go over here to the number of levels, choose a 1-story, and then I come down here. I want to choose homes that are either on a crawl space or a slab, because I don't want it to have a basement area, a finished basement area. So we have, let's see here, I think it's under foundation. Here we go, and it's crawl space and slab. I'm going to save that. And then the property was built in 1993, and I like to start out with looking for comps that are 5 years younger to 5 years older. So under year built, I'm going to choose 87, let's see, excuse me, 88, 1988 to 1998. And I come up with 17 sales. I want to choose properties from within the subdivision if I can, because that's going to be more reflective of what's going on in there and give me a better price indication. It's in the Laurelwood subdivision. Let's see, here we go. And that kind of narrows it down to 1 sale. So that's not good. So what I can either do, I can either go back in time a little bit, or I can expand out from my subdivision to maybe nearby neighborhoods. So what I'm going to do is take a look at, let's see here. I am going to take out Laurel Woods and see what that does. Yeah, there were 17 sales there before, and that's what we've got right now. I also want to look at homes that have similar bedroom bath count. So what I'm going to do is go down here to total bathrooms. I'm more concerned with the bathrooms than the bedrooms, as long as the number of bedrooms is typical for the area. Now, if it's typical to have 3 bedrooms, I don't want to choose sales with 1 bedroom, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So I really just want to concentrate on homes with 2 bathrooms. And it looks like there was only 1 sale that we lost right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this and see what I find. So we've come up with sales that range in price, as you can see, from $83,500 to $169,000. Now, as you can see here, we have a range of value from $83,500 to $169,000. That's a pretty wide range. What I'm thinking has occurred here is that maybe some of the homes that sold for the lower price ranges are foreclosures. So now what I want to do is go back and eliminate those and see if there were any there. So I believe what that's going to be is under the features. It's going to be under sale type. So let's go down here. We want to make sure that we don't take into consideration foreclosures if that's not typical in the market. A couple years ago it was because there was so much foreclosure activity going on, but I'm not so sure that's the case here. So let's just take a look. Sale type. What we don't want short sales, so must not have short sales, corporate-owned REO, foreclosures. Let's get rid of relocation and court approval. So see what that does. So it looks like there was about 2 sales And let's take a look to see what the range is there now. So it went up a little bit from $100,000 to $169,000. Now from here, what I would probably do would be to take a look at all of them, and let's see here. I would look at a detailed printout of the properties just to see. Okay, I think what happened here, let me go back. I did not put in criteria for the garage, so let me go ahead and do that. My property has a 2-car garage. I don't want the others to not have that because, you know, a garage can add a significant amount. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here and look at garage, total number of garage spaces. Let's go ahead and put 2 and 2, so that takes it down to 10. That's probably going to close the gap a little bit more too, and it does. So 147,250 to 169. So if we take a look at what these properties are like, I'll just page through them here real quick. So that looks very similar to what I have. This one does, and you're going to be able to do this too if you're looking for sales that are similar to yours. You know, having looked at your property and visited it, and you'll know what it's like, maybe the condition of it, construction quality. Maybe if you have a full brick home, you don't want a siding home. But this search, you can narrow it down even more. I know in our MLS you can go into like construction type, and it'll give you, you know, the construction, if it's 4-side brick or 3-side brick, that type of thing. But they're pretty similar. So what I've done is I've narrowed down what began as a search from like 85,000 to around 160, 170, to a range of 147 to 169, and it narrowed that gap because we were putting in search criteria to pull sales that were more similar to the property that we're wanting to you know, get a list price or an appraisal value for. So I hope that helps out. I hope that gives you a little bit of insight into what appraisers do, maybe the criteria that we look for. I think if you start with features of the home that are the features that bring the most money, such as square footage. I didn't even put square footage in, which I could have done that too, and I probably should have. That may have narrowed it down even more. But I put in like garage, number of garages, the floor plan type, like 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-story slab home, that type of thing. So I hope that helps out. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me either by phone or by email, or you can connect with me on my social media accounts. If you have any questions, let me know. This is Tom Horn with Birmingham Appraisal Blog. Thanks a lot.